Hey guys, it is Hillary again with our this edition of Tip Tuesday. I wanted to get on here real quick and share a couple things that are really important travel tips before you embark on any kind of trip, any kind of journey, anything like that. I have my coffee. Coffee's always important. You'll discover that if you travel extensively. Um, I've had this question asked before, and I believe someone maybe commented on one of my past videos asking what countries do you need a visa for? Like if you're just traveling, can you just use your passport, or should you also get a visa? Well, that's a great question. So the answer is, well, there's a lot of answers. I'll put it that way. Probably the best answer is to go to the State Department website, travel.state.gov. There is so much information on that website. It is incredible. You can find out if you're traveling to the United States, you need a visa, and so it gives you step by step where you can get it, the cost, how long they last, etc., etc. And then it has a section for Americans traveling abroad, and you can enter in the country, and then it'll tell you everything you need. Most countries, oh, excuse me, it's early where I'm at videoing. Excuse me. Most countries, you don't need a visa. Every country I have traveled to so far, I have not needed a visa. My passport is just fine for up to 90, I believe 90 days or 120 days, depending on the country. There are several countries, though, that you do need. Like, for example, if I'm going to China, I need a visa. Many of the Middle Eastern countries, you need a visa. I believe Turkey, you need a visa. I know that you do for Iran and Iraq and all of those. You just need to be careful before you plan or book anything. You need to go to the travel.gov website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up. Whoops. I'm going to pull it up, and so that way you can see what it looks like. And this is the same website that you go to for passports. So if you've never gotten a passport, or if you just need to renew your passport, it's super easy. So I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to show you this information, and we'll go step by step about what you need to do for a visa, how easy it can be. But it can also be kind of challenging too. So I wanted to kind of lay that out. Some places it's more challenging than others, because if you have a specific, some countries require you to go to the American consulate in person. So depending on where you live, that could be extra travel. So I'm going to kind of show you the website and kind of show you step by step how you go about finding all of this information out. Okay, hang tight. Okay guys, we're back. So here's the website, what it looks like. You just type in travel.state.gov, and this is what pops up. So if you need a passport, this is where you click right here. If you need a U.S. visa, this is where you go right here. Now, if we're just international traveling, so we're going to click on that one. Talks about your safety, talks about any travel advisories that you have will show right here. So like if you're going to a country and there's been a lot of protesting and extra violence, you'll definitely want to see the travel advisory. So U.S. travelers in Europe, high-risk areas, journalists, faith-based, etc., etc. So if we want to find out about a specific country, click on the country information, and it tells you where to learn about your destination. So we're going to type in a country. I'll just show you. Let's say we want to go to China to see the Great Wall, which is on my bucket list, by the way. So it gives you the most up-to-date travel advisory, any alert potential, if there's been weather, if there's been anything like that. Passport validity, you need to have a 6-month at least 6 months on your passport. You don't need any vaccinations. You do need a tourist visa is required, and you need at least 2 blank passport pages. Shows you the maximum currency that you can have for entry, a maximum currency you can have for exit. So this says there's a tourist visa required. So how are you going to get a visa? So let's click on the entry-exit visa requirements. And it tells you exactly how you get it. Prior to arrival, have a passport with at least 6 months validity remaining. It will, and there are some countries, I would assume that China would be one of them, that are very strict on their rules. So if you don't have it, you will be deported immediately. Lack of visa, overstaying, detention, and or fines. I would not want to press my luck in certain countries, specifically somewhere like China. Do not expect it to be expedited, so make sure you apply in plenty of time. So that's an interesting one right there. So as soon as you arrive, you need to register with the police within 24 hours. You could get fined or deported if you don't. That's interesting. See, there's so much information on this. So you can't just think, oh, I've got my passport, I'm good. No, there are so many countries that have extra guidelines and extra rules that you have to apply for, and you have to take that into your cost account, and you need to take that into your time account, because some of these things, like I believe China, you need to go, let's see, embassies and consulates. Yes, you actually have to go to the U.S. consulate. That's the consulate in China. I think you have to go to the Chinese. I saw it somewhere. I'm going to see if I can find it. Oh, okay, here we go. So you have to actually go to the website for the embassy. Okay, go. So we're going to click on that. So we're going to the China embassy. So this is where you go, and this is where you would get your visa. So let's see here. About the embassy. China, U.S., embassy highlight sections. Visa. How to apply. So you select the category, submit your application. Okay, so this one you have to do, I believe you have to do this in person. Yes, so you would pick your category, and then you would get your paperwork, print the paperwork accordingly, and then you would go in person. And I believe where I live, the closest embassy place that you have to go is in Chicago. So you would have to be in line, and you would have to do this all in person, and you may or may not get dealt with that day that you go and you apply. So it causes an additional time on your travel. So anywhere you go, we're going to close that out. Anywhere that you go, you need to make sure that you have all the information, whether it is a visa requirement country or if it's a just you can go on your passport. And so many countries you can go on your passport, and you can stay for up to 120 days on your passport. So that's why they always say you need to have at least 6 months validity on your passport. That way, if you do stay longer, you have plenty of time. So it's valid. It's not going to expire before you come home. So this website, when I first started traveling abroad, I visited this website frequently because it does give you a lot of information that you may not even think about, and it's very, very helpful, and it'll help keep you safe, and it'll help keep you aware of the rules and regulations and things like that. So definitely bookmark the travel.state.gov website, because it's like going down a rabbit hole, I will tell you right now, because once you click on one thing, it leads you somewhere else and you get more and more and more in depth and more information. But it is such important, critical information for any trip that you know that you're going to go on. If you watch the news and let's say you plan on going to, if you've planned a recent trip to Chile, you would know if you watch the news that they have some massive protests going on. Well, that would probably be a travel advisory. So things like that are this website's going to give you information on. So I hope that this tip today has helped you. Be sure you do plenty of research before you decide on booking any kind of flight to your location. So let's say you've picked out where you want to go. And before you book it, though, be sure to take the time to come to this website. You need to make sure that you know you have all the proper documentation, you have all the paperwork, you have everything that you need for your trip. So you'll thank me, I promise. And I hope this tip has been helpful. Again, thank you for all of you that have subscribed and continue to follow my channel. In 2 weeks, I'm super excited because I will be taking you along with me to Melbourne, Australia. And this is going to be my very first actual traveling type blog type situation. I don't know. I'm really excited. So we're going to have train rides. We're going to have train rides from St. Louis to Chicago. We're going to tell you about different experiences along the way, being in the airport, going to Melbourne while I'm in Melbourne. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned to the channel. If you haven't subscribed it, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications for everything, and have a great week. And don't forget, no matter what, keep traveling and get out there and see the world. Thanks, guys.